Welcome, good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, and this playlist will be me reading the complete works of William Shakespeare. However, this playlist will be unique. Other playlists where I've read books, I just use my normal voice. This one, from part to part, we're going to be using different vocal settings on the new microphone that I have that I don't know how to properly use yet. Even when it's not plugged into the laptop, there's a constant buzzing noise. And when I try to use it for a Let's Play, there's a massive increase of static. So, not sure how to fix that. Still working on it. Just made part 6 of Escape from Nazarick. Just use the microphone built back in the laptop for that. So at least I have multiple options. Still figuring this one out. I have a playlist called New Microphone. It's more so me just trying to figure out how to make this thing work appropriately. Right now I have this set at Solo Singer, Basic Pitch Level 1. It has noise suppression, pitch perfect, and yeah. So, that's going to be this playlist. It's going to be me using odd voice things. I'll also keep in mind, I'm actually not using it as a Let's Play setup where it'd be on a tripod because I'd need both hands to play a game. But this is me actually holding the microphone about a foot in front of my face. So, anyway, let's actually read some William Shakespeare. But yeah, this is essentially kind of test videos I bet the company who made this microphone, which I already talked about in part 1 of the new microphone playlist, they're going to be like, we did not build this microphone for you to do these horrible things to it. And I'm like, you do realize the very first thing upon opening the box was I used it as a lightsaber, just because it looks like a lightsaber hilt. So what is... Okay, so... Table of contents. You know, it's everything Shakespeare ever wrote. It's also a part about, little letters he wrote to people, I guess. And words from people. So... yeah, it's called From the First Folio, 1623. Maybe we'll come back to that at some point, but first, the first part of the King Henry VI. King Henry VI, Duke of Gloucester, uncle to the King and protector. Duke of Bedford, uncle to the King and Regent of France. Thomas Beaufort, Duke of Exeter, great uncle to the King. Henry Beaufort, great uncle to the King. What is this? Just a list of all the actors and the characters? I'm pretty sure it is. Should I even read that? It's called Dramatis Persona. Basically, dramatic actors probably. So what that's essentially meant to mean. Okay. Act 1, Scene 1. Westminster Abbey. Dead March. Enter the funeral of King Henry V. Attended on by the Duke of Bedford, Regent of France, the Duke of Gloucester, Protector. So it's setting up the scene. Okay. Duke of Bedford. Hung be the heavens with black yield day and night. Comets importing change of times and states. Brandish your crystal tresses in the sky, and with them scourge the bad revolting stars that have consented unto Henry's death. Henry V, too famous to live long, England ne'er lost a king of so much worth. And then Duke of Gloucester. England ne'er had a king until his time. Virtue he had, deserving to command. His brandished sword did blind men with his beams, his arms spread wider than a dragon's wings, his sparkling eyes replete with wrathful fire, more dazzled and drove back his enemies. Then midday sun fierce bent against their faces. What should I say? His deeds exceed all speech. He had ne'er lift up his hand but conquered. The Duke of Exeter. We mourn in black. Why mourn we not in blood? Henry is dead and never shall revive. Upon a wooden coffin we attend, and death's dishonorable victory we with our stately presence glorify, like captives bound to a triumphant car. What shall we cruise of planets of mishap? What plotted thus our glories overthrow? Or shall we think the subtle-witted French, conjurers and sorcerers, that, afraid of him, by magic verses have contrived his end? The Bishop of Winchester. He was a king, blessed of the King of Kings. Unto the French the dreadful judgment day, so dreadful will not as was his sight. The battles of the Lord of hosts he fought. The church's prayers made him so prosperous. The Duke of Gloucester. The church, where is it? Had not churchmen prayed? His thread of life had not soon decayed. None do you like but an effeminate prince, whom like a schoolboy you may overawe. The Bishop of Winchester. Gloucester, whatever we like, thou art protector, and lookest to command the prince and realm. Thy wife is proud, she holdeth thee in awe, more than God or religious churchmen may. The Duke of Gloucester. None, not religion, for thou lovest the flesh, and ne'er throughout the year to the church nor goest, except it be to pray against thy foes. Cease these jars, and rest your minds in peace, lest, did I skip a page? No, I didn't. Lest to the altar heralds wait on us, instead of gold we'll offer up our arms, since arms avail not now that Henry's dead. Posterity await for the wretched years, when at their mother's moist eyes babes shall suck. Our isle be made a marsh of salt tears, and none but women left to wail to the dead. Henry the Fifth, thy ghost I invoke. Prosper this realm, keep it from civil broils, combat with adverse planets in the heavens. A far more glorious star thy soul will make than Julius Caesar or Bright. Enter a messenger. My lord, my honorable lords, health to you all. Sad tidings I bring to you out of France. Goyne, Champagne, Reims, Rhone, Orleans, Paris, Geyser, Poitiers are all quite lost. Duke of Bedford. What sayest thou, man? Before dead Henry's corse. I feel like I should say corpse, but there's no letter P. Speak softly. Or is that supposed to mean an accent? Huh. Speak softly, or the loss of those great towns will make him burst his lead and rise from death. I mean, I think that's what you all would want, though, right? Is Paris lost? Is Rouen yielded up? If Henry were called to life again, these news would cause him once more to yield the ghost. Oh wow, he'd come back to life just to die again. That sucks. How were they lost? What treachery was used? Messenger. No treachery, but want of men and money. Amongst the soldiers this is muttered, that here you maintain several fractions, and whilst the field should be dispatched and fought, you are disputing of your generals. One would have lingering wars with little cost. Another would fly swift but wanteth wings. A third thinks without expense at all. By guileful fair words peace may be obtained. Awake, awake, English nobility, let not sloth dim your honours new begot cropped at. Are there flowered luces in your arms? Of England's coat one half is cut away. The Duke of Exeter. We're out of tears wanting to this funeral. These tidings would call forth flowing tides. Duke of Bedford. Give me thy concern, Regent, I am of France. Give me my steeled coat, I'll fight for France. Away with thee, disgraceful wailing robes. Wounds will I lead the French instead of eyes, to reap their intermissive miseries. Enter a second messenger. Wow, it's just like, you got mail! Lords, view these letters, full of bad mischance. France is revolted from the English quite, except some petty towns of no import. The Dauphin Charles is crowned king in Reims. The bastard of Orleans with him he is joined. Rainer, Duke of Anjou, doth take his part. The Duke of Alençon flieth to his side. The Duke of Exeter. The Dauphin crowned king, all fly to him. Oh, whither shall we fly from this reproach? Duke of Gloucester. We will not fly, but to our enemies' throats. Bedford, if thou be slacked, I'll fight it out. Duke of Bedford. Gloucester, why doubtest thou of my forwardness? An army have I mustered in my thoughts, wherewith already France is overrun. Enter a third man. We're busy! My gracious lords, to add to your laments wherewith you now bedew King Henry's hearse, I must inform you of a dismal fight betwixt the stout Lord Talbot and the French. Bishop of Winchester. What? Wherein Talbot overcame? Isn't so? Third messenger. Oh, no. Wherein Lord Talbot was overthrown, the circumstances I'll tell you more at large. The 10th of August last, this dreadful lord, retiring from the siege of Orleans, having full scarce 6,000 in his troops, was round about encompassed and set upon. No leisure had he to entrank his men. He wanted pikes to set before his archers, instead whereof sharp stakes plucked out of hedges. They pitched to the ground confusedly, to keep the horsemen off from breaking in. More than 3 hours of flight continued, where valiant Talbot, above human thought, enacted wonders with his sword and lance. Hundreds he sent to hell, and none durst stand him. Here, there, and everywhere, enraged he flew. The French exclaimed the devil was in arms. All the whole army stood gazed on him, his soldiers spying his undaunted spirit. A Talbot, cried out a man, and rushed into the bowels of the battle. Here, had the conquest have been fully sealed up, if Sir John Falstaff had not played the coward. He, being the voward, played behind with purpose to relieve and follow them. Cowardly fled, not having struck one stroke. Hence grew the general rack, and massacre. Enclosed were they with their enemies, a base Walloon to win Dauphin's grace. Thrust Talbot with a spear into the back, whom all France with their chief assembled strength durst not presume to look once in the face. Duke of Bedford. Is Talbot slain? Then I will slay myself, for living idly here in pomp and keys, will such a worthy leader wanting aid, unto his dastard foreman is betrayed. Third messenger. Oh no, he lives, but is took prisoner. And Lord Scales with him, and Lord Hungerford. Most of them rest slaughtered, took likewise. The Duke of Bedford. His ransom there is none but I shall pay. All hail the Dauphin headlong apart from his throne. His crown shall be the ransom of my friends. 4 of their lords I'll change for one of ours. Farewell, my masters, to the task will I. Bonfires in France forthwith I am to make, to keep our great St. George's feast withal. 10,000 soldiers with me will I take, whose bloody deeds shall make all Europe quake. Third messenger. So you had need, for Orleans is besieged. The English army is grown weak and faint. The Earl of Salisbury craveth supply, and hardly keep his men from mutiny, since they so few watch such a multitude. Duke of Exeter, remember, lords, your oaths to Henry sworn, either require the Dauphin utterly, or bring him in obedience to your yoke. Duke of Bedford, I do remember it, and here to take my leave, to go about my preparation. Duke of Gloucester, I'll to Tower with all the haste I can, to view the artillery and munition, and then I will proclaim young King Henry. Duke of Exeter, to Eltham will I, where the young king is, being ordained his special governor, and for his safety there I'll best devise. Bishop of Winchester, each have his place and function to attend. I am left out, for me nothing remains, but long I will not be jacked out of office. The king from Eltham I intend to steal, and sit at chiefest stern of public weal. Okay, that was King Henry VI, Part 1, Scene 1. We're going to call that a video. But yeah, this playlist will be me using different vocal settings on the microphone. It's a sort of test of how different things sound. Part of the reason I had an idea for doing this was I remember somebody out there made a video, multiple of them, of, I think it's someone who actually did a pretty good impersonation of Nathan Explosion from the band Death Clock, the fictional anime band, from the show Metalocalypse. It's pretty cool. It's good for some laughs. But yeah, somebody made some videos of Nathan Explosion reading Shakespeare, and I think like Pickles, the drummers in there in the music studio recording it. They made multiple of it, and I think it's somebody impersonating Nathan Explosion, but they're doing a good job, and it's funny. Then again, I made a couple odd little quip videos where I paired certain audios that I felt were very fitting. It's a sense of humor, if you will, okay? It's the same sense of humor where this playlist came from. Plus, it lets me know a better idea how different things work for recording, things I can try to do to fix recordings, and, well, like, here's 2 videos, for example. One is called What's a Conscience? I used a picture of Nathan Explosion, and some audio I felt went very hilariously as, paired with it. Or I made another video called E is for Pants. I'll let you be surprised at that one. It's hopefully makes you laugh. Anyway, I'm going to end the video. By the way, I did actually write a parody of Sweet Dream once. Recorded like a year ago. It's about Sweet. It's almost the whole thing's changed except for the intro, like sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? So all of it's those are the only words that are the same. The whole rest of the song is unique lyrics that I wrote, and it's about neckos, cowgirls. I mean, what do you expect? I made a video called The Ministry of Off-Brand. And I also made a video called An Angry Creepy Tree Screeches. I think it was called An Angry Creepy Tree Screeches Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses while spewing pasta at you. And it's just a picture of an angry murder tree while I sing Welcome to the Jungle. I did that like a month or two ago. So, yeah. Tired. Anyway, so yeah. This playlist will be me using funny voices. Don't worry, I'll probably also do some Geoffrey Chaucer, but I'll just not use this microphone for that. I'll just use the microphone I had been using that's built into the laptop. So, yay. Well, bye everybody.